Okay, so welcome to class. People in Portland know that this is a beautiful snowy day here today. A little bit unexpected because there's quite a lot of snow up where I am. And I have a fire crackling in the background, so you might hear that. So nice and cozy. So very important to just go at your own pace and listen to your body, what it's telling you it can and cannot do, and respect that. So we're going to start today's practice standing up. So you can just come to your feet and then try to adjust this just a little so you get my head. Okay, so we'll just start shaking. So shake your hand, arm, and your right leg, right arm, right leg. You can go to the other side, left hand, left arm, left shoulder, left foot, left leg, and then shake both arms and both legs. You can shake your head a little bit just to shake out your day. And if you're waking up in the morning, to shake out your sleepiness or your any kinks you might have. Okay, just a little bit more. And you can come to still. And then have a little bit of a wider stance as we start to just twist from side to side, taking the arms and shoulders, chest and head to one side. The opposite heel can come up off the mat. So nice. Relaxing swaying of the arms, letting momentum just take those arms and chest over to the sides, lifting the opposite heel so you can really twist all the way around. Warming up the hips, shoulders, whole body. And you can start to slow that down. Now we're going to do a new one. This is a letting go. So just raise your arms high and then take your feet a little bit out. And then you're just going to swing your arms down with a big exhale, a sigh out your back. Ha! Actually, more than a sigh. And then come back up. Ha! 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 So once again, just letting out any excess energy or stress you might be feeling. Do this 3 more times. So a little bend in the knees as you go down. And a full exhale as you release. And now onto that little bit wider than hip distance apart stance. And take your hands to your belly. Just start to feel the breath in your body. And on the inhale, the breath will be expanding the belly. And on the exhale, the belly will be going in, toning on the exhale as the breath releases from your body. Inhaling. The belly expands underneath your fingertips and exhaling. The belly muscles tone as the breath is leaving the body. Now on the next inhale, you're going to open your arms, a little bend in your knees, open your arms out wide. Inhaling, gathering in abundance. Exhaling, bringing it into your belly. Inhaling, finding well-being, and exhaling it, bringing it into your belly. Inhaling, gathering up the peace of your life, and exhaling, bringing it into your belly. Now bring your hands up to your chest. Inhaling, opening up your heart to love. Exhaling, gathering that love into your heart. Inhaling, as you open up your heart and chest. Exhaling, bringing in gratefulness. Inhaling, Opening up your heart to a sense of community. Exhaling, bringing that love and community into your heart. Now hands lightly onto your head. Inhale as you take your arms up to the ceiling, gathering in clarity. Inhaling, exhaling, bringing that into your mind. Inhaling, gathering in creativity. Exhaling, bringing it into your head. And inhaling, gathering in your truth and bringing your hands to your head on the exhale. You can just let your arms come gently by your sides. Now we're going to do a lovely self-massage. So beginning by taking your thumbs to the ridge at the base of your skull, fingertips onto the top of your head, and using your finger pads, just massage with little circles all the way up the top of your skull, around the sides of your skull, the back of your skull. So just nice little circles, enjoying the sensation of releasing the scalp as you massage. And now you can come down, and with your thumbs you can go up around the outside of where your ears join your scalp, or your skull, I should say. And then bring your thumbs back down to that bony ridge at the base of your skull. And from the outside, like at the bottom of your ears, just start to do little circles with your thumbs all the way along that ridge of your skull. Little tiny circles, just feeling it. Feeling the movement and the motion. And you'll come to a little divot right in the center there. You can walk your thumbs up a little bit there. Once again, releasing any little bits of tension you might be feeling. And then go back, take your thumbs back out around to the ears. Just at the lobes of the ears, you can massage. And as you do this, you can let little sighs come out of your mouth if that's appropriate, if that's what you're feeling. Now fingertips to the forehead, and just brush your fingers across your forehead, unfurrowing your brow, and just lightly down your face and cheeks, nose. And now gently down the front of your neck. Fingers to the back of your neck, and give the back of your neck a nice massage, coming all the way down to the top of your shoulders. And now you can cross your right arm over your left arm, and then with the top hand you can just really get in, use your fingers to really massage your back of your right shoulder. We carry a lot of tightness in our shoulders, so really feel for that tightness. Use your fingers to release and soften all the way along that top of the right shoulder. And then release, and now cross the opposite direction. So your top hand now is going to release the massage the opposite shoulder. You can walk your tops of your fingers across that tightness, which I have a ton of tightness up here. And then you could stroke down your arms, and even use your hands all the way around your arms to feel your arms. And then do nice wrist hand circles, so rotating your hands around your wrist in one direction and then in the opposite direction. Now the other arm, so stroking down the arm all the way down to the fingertips, and then just taking your hand and walking it down so you can just really activate all along your arm. Rub it, walk it, and then do the same with your left hand. Some nice hand rotations. Fingers are open nice and wide, as though you're scooping the inside of the jar. And then you can go in the opposite direction. And now, give the arms a little shake out. Now start going down your chest, stroking down to your belly. And then do some nice circles. Take the palm of your hand and just do some nice slow circles around your belly. In one direction. Just giving it some extra attention, and then in the opposite. And then you can slide your arms around to the back of your pelvis, and whichever is the most works best for you. You can use your thumbs to massage across the top of your pelvis, your sacrum, lower back area. Down your buttocks, give them a nice rub. And then down the fronts, slide your hands down and just stroke the fronts and back of your upper legs, your thighs. And then just start to come down low. You want to bend in your knees here. So keep your knees bent as you start to lower down. Your chin can come in towards your chest. As your knees are bending down, you're stroking your lower legs now all the way down to your feet. Give your feet a little, you could just only get the sides of your feet here, but you could just give them a nice rub. And now you want your chin to be in towards your chest. Hands, knees are generously bent. Fingers are on the ground. Let your head, arms, and chest just droop down. Hang your torso down. Let the back of the neck really soften and release. The crown of the head reaching towards the floor. Just nice and relaxed here. And take some nice deep breaths. Take 3 breaths here, full inhales and complete exhales. Feel the breath filling up your whole rib cage, front, back, and sides. And then slowly you can start to roll back up. And come to mountain pose. I will just do some head circles or some rotation of the head now. So look over your right shoulder. So turn your head to look over your right shoulder. And then start to drop your chin down towards your collarbone. But don't come towards the clavicle. Don't come towards the center yet. Just keep it looking down towards the right side and as though you're looking towards under your arm. And feel that stretch or that sensation across the left side of your neck. You can move your head here a little bit just to try and target any tightness that you might be feeling in the left side of the neck. The left shoulder is dropping down. Breathe. And when you're ready, you can start to continue dropping your chin down to your clavicle or sternum, and then stop it again on the left side at about halfway between your sternum and your shoulder. Once again, you can just move the head until you feel any tightness you might be feeling in the right side of your neck here. Let the right shoulder drop down away from your ear, your right ear. Breathe into the right side of the neck. And then you can continue bringing your chin up to look over your left shoulder. And then you can just do that a couple of times, going all the way around now, or stopping whenever you would like in that semicircle from left shoulder to right shoulder. When you come to the right shoulder, look over the right shoulder, big inhale, and exhale. You can start to drop the chin again, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed, and your eyes are soft. And next time you come to look over the left shoulder, nice and slowly, you can then turn your head back to center. Now we're going to do a mountain pose here, and I'm going to give you a little instruction on how to get into a really balanced and symmetrical mountain pose. So first of all, we want our feet to be about hip point distance apart. So the hip points go directly down and the ankles will be directly under the hip points. Now you're going to ground your four corners of your feet. And by the four corners of the feet, I mean the mound of the big toe, the mound of the little toe, see, the inside of the heel, inside and the outside of the heel. So ground those 4 points into the ground. And your toes can lift up because you're just grounding the sole of your feet. And once you've found that support, now you can have a little bend in the knees. You're going to come up to the hips. Now the pelvis is can move back and forth. So consider the pelvis as, imagine it as a beautiful bowl. And if it's centered and it is filled with water, the water is level. Take your hands to your hip points. If you bring your hip points forward, your pelvis is going to be tipping that water out in front of you. If you take your hip points back, that pelvis, the water is going to tip out the back. So just go between front and back and front, taking the hip, moving the pelvis into forward and backward pelvic tilt. And then slowly come to that balanced pelvis where the water is going to be level. And then you're going to be in balanced pelvis. And from that pelvis, the spine is going to grow up vertically up the back through to the crown of the head. So there's a little bend in the knees, the pelvis is balanced, lengthening, grounding down into the feet, lengthening up through to the crown of the head. Always relaxing the shoulders away from the collarbone, away from the ears, shoulders away from the ears. And the head is in line with the spine. So typically our necks tend to jut forward. So we just want to bring that head back in line with the spine. So in this mountain pose, you can have your hands facing forward or to your sides, whatever you find is most comfortable. And take 3 nice deep inhales. Now you can have a little bend in the knees as you raise your hands all the way and arms all the way up to the ceiling. And then interlace your fingers, and then you can turn the palms up towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up towards the ceiling. You still want to have your arm bones securely in the shoulder socket. So don't take the arm bones, don't stretch too high so your arm bones are coming out of the socket, but they're nicely placed in the socket. Really lengthen up through the sides of your torso. Your rib cage is moving away from your pelvis. So you're getting nice length up through your torso. And you can start to take a little lean over to the right side, keeping weight in the left foot. Breathe into the left side body. And then come to center. Nice inhale, exhale over to the left side, keeping the weight in your right foot. Breathe into the right side ribs. And then back to center. And then you can float your hands down to your sides. Fingertips come to your shoulders. And we'll just do some shoulder circles here. So elbows come forward and together. There's space across the back of your shoulder blades. And the elbows go back and the shoulder blades come together. As they come forward, the shoulder blades separate away. And as the elbows come back, the shoulder blades come together. So just focus on that for 2 rounds. Focus on the shoulder blades. As the shoulder blades come in towards the spine, and then as they move away from each other, making space in the back. Now we'll focus on the chest as the elbows come forward. The chest kind of closes, but as the shoulders, the elbows come back, chest is opening, collarbones are wide. And inhale as the chest opens, and exhale as the elbows come forward. Two more rounds here. Keeping the groundedness of our lower body. And now we'll go reverse, so the elbows come forward. And open up as the elbows come back. Elbows come forward. Inhale as the elbows come back, the chest and heart opens. Inhale, exhale as the elbows come forward. Inhale as the elbows go back. Shoulder blades are once again moving towards the spine and away from the spine. Okay, one more time in this direction. And now, I didn't say to have a strap, but if you have one, that would be great to take. Hold your strap in your 2 hands. And you want the strap just about, your hands just about shoulder distance apart. And give it a bit of tension, so pull out on the strap with your hands. And then just raise your arms up. And lower, keeping that tension as you raise your arms up and down. Nice and slowly and intentionally. Strengthening muscles here in the arms and the shoulders. And now the next time you come up, next time you raise your arms, you can lengthen your hands out along the strap so that you're in more of a V shape, because you're going to be taking the strap now and taking it, like lengthen your hands out to whatever it takes for you to bring that strap down behind you. And then back up. And then back down. And one more time up. The shoulders are doing a very strong external rotation of the shoulder blades as they come behind you. And you can then either, if you're comfortable just interlacing your fingers behind your back and taking your hands behind you, or you have the option here of using the strap, but only hold your hands just to about hip distance. You don't want them too far out, because what we're going to do is we're going to come into a forward bend. So if your hands are too far out along the strap, it makes it a little bit awkward. Or you can just interlace your fingers behind your back, palms reaching, the knuckles reaching down towards the earth, or just holding that strap. And then bend your knees and slowly start to nestle down, drop your head, drop your shoulders, take your arms up towards the ceiling, back towards your head. Feel the lengthening of the spine. If you want to try and straighten one leg and then the other, both legs perhaps, as you lengthen out the backs of your legs. Make sure your neck is completely relaxed. You're not holding onto your head. Let your head go. One more breath here. And then start to take your arms back towards your buttocks, and then you can start to roll back up towards standing. And you can take the strap to the side. Put your strap on your side. And we're going to come into a balancing pose as well as a stretching pose. So take your arms out to shoulder height. Bend your elbows, palms facing forward as in cactus pose. Now start to bring your forearms together so that the palms of the hands are facing towards each other. Now take the left elbow over the right elbow, if you can. If you can't, if that's too much of a stretch, you can just stay here, bringing the forearms as close together as possible. But if you can, bring them over, and then you want to start to bring the backs of the hands together in eagle hands, eagle arms. And then if you want to go the next step, you can kind of hook the hands together so that the palms of the hands are facing each other. Now you're going to take your right foot and take it over your left foot. So this is going to be the balancing part. Right foot comes over left foot, toes on the mat. And then start to bend your knees, lower your body. Find your drishti, or your focal point in front of you, an unmoving point in front of you. And if you like, you can start to take that right foot around the back, of the left calf. Just hooking that foot around the calf. And lower, further down. If you need to bring your foot back to the mat, of course, that is perfectly fine. And then you can unwind hands and feet and come to still. Go to the other side now. So this time we'll just take our arms out wide and then just take the right, well, no, we better start with eagle arms, cactus arms again. So cactus arms, start coming together in front. Now you can take the right elbow over the left elbow. Hands, backs of hands can come together, and then you can hook the hands, the palms of the hands, so that they're facing each other. Try to take your elbows away from your chest to get even more space across your back here. Now the left foot crosses over and the right foot, and you just be on your left toe here. Find that focal point as you start to lower your body, bending your knees. And if you have the balance today, you can take the left toes up to the back of the right calf. And I don't think I've got one. Maybe. Wherever you're at is just fine. Lowering down. Breathing. Keeping your focus. And then you can start to rise and unwind. That was full eagle. Practice that at home on your own. Okay, so now let's come down onto hands and knees. Into table. So the wrists are under the shoulders, the hands, fingers are spread wide on the mat. Knees are under hips, lifting up through the arms, turning off the belly to protect the lower back. So the belly button just comes in slightly, just turning, comes up towards the spine to protect the lower back. And we'll just start with some moving table. A moving table, so swinging the hips from side to side, and then also looking to, towards those hips as you swing. And come to still. We'll do some cat-cows now. So we start to lower the tailbone. Taking the spine, rolling the spine up towards the ceiling, looking through your legs. Your chin comes towards your chest. The crown of the head releases towards the ground. And then inhale as you start to reverse that movement. So the tailbone, chest and head start to come up, forming a gentle arch as you inhale. And exhale as you start to round the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, through to the crown of the head. Inhaling into cow. Exhaling. Do it at your own pace for 2 more rounds. And come to still. Now bring your left hand, I'll do it this way. Oh, you can't really see. Left hand coming in towards, in between your legs, and you're just going to take your right hand up towards the ceiling as you start to twist towards the right. And then a nice gentle arch as you take that right hand down underneath your left hand and start to lower your ear, shoulder and ear inside of your face down towards the mat. If you like a little bit more of a twist here, you can take your left hand and bring it around onto your lower back. Palm of your hand on your lower back. Opening up the left shoulder. And now you can unwind and bring your hands back onto the mat. Now take your right hand in towards the center. Left hand rises up towards the ceiling. And then take that nice circular arch down and around. Take your hand and arm through the gap under your arm. Start to lower the left shoulder, left cheek, left ear down towards the mat. As you stretch out that left hand along the floor, the palm is facing up. If you like, you can take the right hand, swing it around, palm on your lower back, opening up your right shoulder. Nice twist here. And then unwind. Your hands can come back onto the mat. Back it to table. And take your right leg out, toes turned under, right leg out directly behind you. And using your inner thigh muscle of your right leg, raise that right leg up to about hip height, toes pointed down towards the ground, and reach the heel towards the back of the room, and then lower down. You can feel this also in your right belly muscle. So lift and lower, keeping the left hip, try to avoid it jutting out. That left hip in line with the left leg, and then lift as you inhale and lower. The next time you lift, you're going to leave it up here, and now you're going to bring your head to your knee and your knee to your head. So begin to bend the right knee in towards your head, and your head towards your knee in a little curl, and then extend out. We'll do 3 of those. If you're losing your balance, make sure that your left shin is firmly grounding into the mat. And now you can bring your right knee down by your left knee. You can sit back on your heels for a little rest. A little time to reconnect with your breath. And then back to table. Take your left foot out, toes turned under. Keep that nice lift of your arms, and then using that the left inner thigh and the left belly muscles, raise the left leg. Toes are pointing down, heel reaching out to the back of the room, lower. Raise and lower. Raise, inhale, lower. Raise the left leg, leave it there. Press the right shin into the mat as you start to bring your left knee towards your head and your head towards your knee in a little curl. And then extend and lengthen. Exhale as you bring the knee in. Inhale as you lengthen. 2 more times. And then you can bring your knees back in together and sit back on your heels. Take a couple of nice rounds of breath here. Find that stillness and find your center. I'm going to come into a couple of downward dogs. We'll probably just do 2. So come back to table. Now take your hands out a little in front of your shoulders. Tuck your toes and rotate your inner arms so that your crease of your elbows are facing forward and the inner arms are kind of rotating inward. Make sure that your wrists are facing forward. You're going to tuck your toes and just we're going to keep this first down dog with bent knees. So start to push into your hands as you start to raise your knees a little bit off the mat, and then take your tailbone and sit bones all the way up towards the ceiling as you're pushing through with your arms through to your shoulders and making a nice straight diagonal from hands all the way through to your hips. Your chest can come in towards your thighs, and if you like, now you can start to straighten one leg and then the other as you walk the dog. the heels can release down towards the mat. Really want to keep that spine nice and long. And then come to still. You can drop your knees back to the mat. Sit back on your heels. And we'll come into it one more time. So hands a little bit out in front of you. Crease of the wrists are facing forward, fingers are wide. The upper arms rotating inward, toes are tucked. And this time we'll just come straight. Take arm up, hips all the way up to the ceiling as we push through with our arms. You can begin to straighten your legs. Chest drawing towards your thighs. Looking back between your legs. One more breath. And then you can start to lower back down. Back on to your heels. Okay, now take a nice wide legged position here. Make sure that just lift your buttocks up a little bit and then drop them back down and take the flesh away from, move the flesh towards your back. So you're on your sit bones, not on your lower back. Now take your left foot in towards your inside of your right thigh. We're going to come into a type of forward bend, but it's going to be over the right leg. So your left arm is going to come up by your ear as your right arm slides down your right shin to whatever is comfortable for you. Stretching all along the left side of the body. And believe it or not, the end part, the full expression of this pose, people can get this upper hand to reach the toes. I will never be able to get there. Anyway, breathe into the left body wherever is your comfort level. Try to keep that elbow a little bit back so you've got the opening in the shoulder, the left shoulder. And then you can come back to vertical. And now we'll go into a twist. So this time you're going to take your right hand over to the outside of your left knee. The left hand can find the earth behind you. Inhale as you lengthen up from tailbone through to the crown of the head. And exhale as you begin to turn to the left. Inhale as you lengthen. Exhale. Turn a little more if that's comfortable for you. And take not only your skeleton, but take your inner body around with you. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, turn. You can turn to look over your left shoulder. Turn your head to look over your left shoulder. And then release around to the center. Take the left leg out, right foot, sole of the right foot coming in to the left thigh, inner thigh. Take the right arm up towards the ceiling and then start to bend over towards the left side. The left hand can slide down the left leg. The arm can come over, hand can come towards your foot. It's also stretching the back of the right hip. the quadratus lumborum, giving that a nice stretch. All the way up the right side. And then come to center. Left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Right hand comes to the ground beneath you. Inhale. And exhale as you begin to turn your lower belly and chest towards the right side. Picture your spine from tailbone through to the crown of the head as a spiral staircase. Inhale. Lengthen, exhale, turn. Just gently, just to your own comfort. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. Look over your right shoulder if that's comfortable for you. And then come to center. Now you want to bring both legs out in front of you in Dandasana or a seated stick pose. So take your hands by your hips and once again, just see if you can lift your hips up off the ground and then return your hips down to the earth. Just move that flesh out from under you so you're really feeling the connection of your sit bones to the earth. Lengthening all the way up through the spine, through to the crown of the head. The shoulders are relaxed. We're going to come forward. We're going to come into a gentle forward bend. When it's your legs are directly out in front of you, you can't come as far forward as if your legs were stretched out or if you were in cobbler's pose. But keep a straight back as you start to come forward, sliding your hands down your legs. Keeping the chest open and wide. And then when you feel like you've come to the edge of your forward bend, you can start to curl your upper back and head and let your forehead drop down towards your thighs. Soften your eyes, even close your eyes here. Feel the stretch up the backs of your legs, up your spine, through your lower back. The weight of the head draws you closer to the earth. Relax across your forehead. Relax your eyes. Come into your center. 2 more nice, deep, steady breaths here. And then you can start to rise up. Okay, so now we're going to come lying down. I'm just going to move this a little forward. Lying down onto your backs. Your feet are on the floor, knees pointed up towards the ceiling, hands by your side, and cross your right ankle over your left knee. Draw that right knee away from your body. And then take your right hand and thread it in the hole between your legs. Take your left hand around the outside of your left thigh as you begin to raise your left knee. You can let your foot just drop down towards the earth and then draw that thigh in towards your chest. Left thigh comes in towards the chest. You can feel a nice stretch on the outside of the right thigh. Keep the shoulders flat on the mat. Neck is long. The back of the neck is long. Breathe into the tightness of the right thigh. And with your exhale, soften. See if you can bring your knee in a little bit closer. Your left knee, I should say. Then you can drop that left foot down onto the mat, uncross your right foot. Take a moment to feel the sensation in your right leg. And now cross the left foot over the right knee. Just draw that left knee away from your body, using your muscles, not forcing it, but just feeling an opening in the left hip. And now begin to take your left hand in between the hole, in between your legs. The right hand goes to the outside of the right thigh and your hands meet under behind your right thigh. You can lift your right knee and start to draw that right thigh in towards your chest. I think most people do feel this in the outside of the left thigh. So see if you can feel that stretch in the left thigh. Inhale, exhale, soften. See if you can draw the right knee in a little bit closer towards the chest. And then you can take the right foot down onto the ground, followed by the left foot. Now we're going to come into a nice twist. So, let's see which is the best way to show you. Yeah, okay. So just bring your, come onto your side body and bend your knees. You can just bring your head down towards the mat. And then take your left arm directly out, palm facing up on the mat. And the right hand comes a little bit further over. So the right shoulder is moving forward. Your right fingers are on the mat. Very slowly, just going to raise that right hand up towards the ceiling and start to take it back, the back of the head back, as you turn and twist over to the right side. Opening up your chest, feeling the twist in the lower back, so the knees are still on the mat. And then you can bring the right hand back up and over to meet the left hand, just coming forward a little bit of the left hand, so that right shoulder is coming forward a little. And then we'll do it one more time, lifting the right hand up towards the ceiling, taking it directly back and over as the right shoulder starts to come down towards the mat. The back of the hand is on the mat. And you can turn to look over your right shoulder, turn your head to look over your right shoulder. And then inhale as you bring the right arm up and back over to meet your left palm on your left hand. And we're going to roll to the middle and then over to the other side. So knees are making a 90-degree angle. The right hand now is directly out in front of you. The left hand comes over and just comes a little bit forward of the right hand. So the left shoulder is coming a little forward. Then start to raise the left hand up towards the ceiling. The back of the hand starts to come over the shoulder, starts to come over as you twist and take that left shoulder down towards the mat. Feel the twist in the lower spine all the way up through the head, and you can look over your left shoulder. And then the hand comes back up, left hand comes back up and over to meet the right hand. And take a moment and then begin to raise the left hand up, taking it up towards the ceiling, twisting over towards the left side, the back side, back of the left hand, rests on the mat. The left shoulder blade starts to come towards the ground as you're opening up the chest. And then you can start to bring the left hand back. And now roll over onto your back. Feet the distance of your mat. We'll just do finish up with some gentle windshield wipers. Swaying the knees to one side and then the next over to the other side. Just nice and gentle, letting the weight of the knees take them down towards the ground. Everything's nice and relaxed. One more round. And bring your knees back to center. Lengthen your legs out on the mat. Arms out to the side. If you have a blanket, you can put that over you. And you can just fully relax. Let the weight of your body fall into the ground. Let go of anything you're holding. This is the resting. This is the gold of the practice, where you integrate everything you've done during the practice. So it's very important to give yourself that special time. So close your eyes and let your body drop into the earth. Let all your muscles and bones relax. Let your body spread and melt like butter in a pan. And I will leave you here in Shavasana. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you next week. Namaste.